Welcome, everybody, to the Coffee Breath Podcast. My name is Taylor, and we are on episode 2, so welcome. If you listened or if you watched the first episode, I want to say a huge thank you. I want to give you a hug right now. You know, we could all use a little bit more because we're lacking that in our lives, you know, with the pandemic and all. But yeah, thank you for taking some time out of your day to listen, you know, and however much time that you did. Again, thank you. If you're totally new here, then I want to say again, my name is Taylor, and welcome to my home. I want you to feel like you just kicked your shoes off. You know, you're sitting down. I've got some throw pillows and a throw blanket, and you're getting cozy, and I'm pouring you a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, a glass of wine, water, juice, you name it. I've got you. And we're just sitting down, you know? We could use a friend right now. I could use a friend to just listen, and maybe you could be that for me. Or maybe you're just a curious person and you love listening to people talk. That is totally me. You can ask my roommates. I mean, they have to listen to me listening to like podcasts and YouTube videos, TED Talks, like anything. Just, well, reading books, that's more silent, but I'm constantly listening to stuff. I'm constantly listening to people share their stories, people talk, and I mean, you know, I know that this is solo, so it's not like we're conversing, but maybe there's something that you can get out of listening to my thoughts, my stories, you know? And what you like, you take and you keep with you. What you don't really like, you kind of just, you're like, well, I don't really care for that. So I'm just gonna leave that off to the side. That's what I like to do. I try not to like, oh, I don't like this one thing or these couple things that this person said, so I'm just gonna totally cut them off. Or like how we cancel people now in this like cancel culture. I don't think we should do that. You know, people have a different viewpoint and opinions on things. Now, if they have like poor morals and ethics, that's a different conversation, but we're allowed to have different opinions. And everybody's kind of coming at, you know, their own perspective from, again, like, okay, that didn't make sense, but it's like everyone's coming from their own perspectives. And sometimes we can project our own shit onto other people, or maybe just the background that we come from. We weren't really educated as much as we should be on certain topics or cultures or just, you know, worldly views and things. But in order for us to get to where we need to be having these conversations. We need to be expressing ourselves. And I kind of feel like I've held my tongue for way too long. I have a lot that I want to share. I've been through so much, and I know that we all have. I'm not trying to like diminish anybody else. And I'm not trying to come towards anyone else's lives. Like what I say on here, I want it to be completely from my own true authentic, my own true authentic like self and my own personal stories. Again, I love listening to people share their stories. And sometimes I find that like I'm not alone in maybe something that's happened to me or an experience that I went through or just thoughts that I have in general. Because, you know, the thoughts can be dangerous sometimes. They can take you down a wild spiral and you can dig yourself into a hole that it gets so deep that you can barely see the light at the top and it's hard to come out. But then a lot of thoughts can be very creative, inspirational. And if we can see that we have more in common and we have more in like similarities than differences, I think that that's where we can really start to change the world. And of course, we need to change that. Sorry, I'm holding my coffee and my metal straw keeps hitting the glass. So I'm going to put that down so that's not annoying. Fuck, what was I saying? Oh shit, here we go. No, I have like a little notepad that I have some things, some ideas, and some thoughts written down on. But for the most part, I just want this podcast to kind of be like a verbal diary, if that's the right word for that. I understand some things should, you got to keep to yourself, but I don't know. I want to write a book one day. And I suck at writing, I suck at grammar, and I'm not saying like, oh, I suck at it, so I'm just gonna never try to educate myself on it or like grow and learn to be able to do that. No, I want to be able to do that, but that takes time. It takes a lot of practice. Writing, a lot of people feel like you could just write a book and then next day you're on like Oprah talking about it. Like, no, that's not really how that works. You really need to know like what you're doing when it comes to writing, or maybe just a lot of money you can pay somebody to write the book for you. But in my case, until I'm at that point where I could be writing my own book, like a memoir or something like that, or like some sort of, I don't want to say like self-help because I know that kind of has like a cliche attached to it, but some sort of personal stories. Yeah, so I guess a memoir that then can kind of translate to a self-help because maybe it can help somebody else. But again, until I'm at that point, I'm just gonna use my voice, and I'm gonna try to refine that, because as much as I should be good at communication as like a Gemini, like if you're into astrology and all of that, which I am. I'm not saying that it's like a godsend or something like that where, oh my God, we have to praise it and that's the end all be all. No, I just find it really interesting, and I feel like a lot of things resonate when you look up, not necessarily a daily horoscope per se, but when you get deep into like your birth chart, your astrology chart, like your rising signs, your moon signs. Okay, that's a tangent. That's for another episode. But yeah, I suck at communicating. I can't just kind of get from point A to point B. I kind of have to skip and cartwheel all over the place. Maybe get some ice cream on the side. Take a nap. Watch, like birds chirp and fly around. And then like get back on the path and try to get to point B. So if I can refine speaking and being good at communicating, then hopefully that can also translate into writing as well. And I don't know, if somebody likes this, shit, that's awesome. What's up? We're friends. Well, again, welcome. But all right, enough of that. I said my thanks. I shared my gratitude. Let's talk about aliens. Let's talk about aliens. Hold on, I'm going to take a little coffee break. Metal straws, because, we want to save the turtles and the fish. As then, we'll buy a bunch of shit on Amazon and have a bunch of packages. And that just goes into the, tangents. It's just funny how we can pick, like, straws are so bad, which, like, yeah, they are. But let's also look at, like, our other plastic consumptions, like the packages that we get. Let's take a look at that. But let's get into aliens, because I am wearing, if you're watching this, I am wearing my conspiracy theory shirt. At the bottom of it, it says, everything you know is a lie. And I kind of feel like that's true, I'm not saying, like, everything is a lie and, like, oh, let's get scared. Not that kind of, like, propaganda and shit. No, it's just, obviously we've seen that our history that's been written in books and been fucking educated for how many years has maybe been not the total truth of the history. A lot of whitewashing, a lot of deception, a lot of manipulation, a lot of missing facts and stories, and, let's get down to it. Everything's a lie. But aliens. I want to get into So let's just have a little conversation about aliens. But before we can talk about aliens, we need to talk about how we just survived the end of the world. Well, one event of the end of the world, which was last Sunday, June 21st, 2020. I'm not sure why that day. I didn't read that far into it. I'm not sure why it was that day. But, we're still here. So the world didn't end. Whoa, great. We're still here. We're still fucking suffering. But no, we're making a lot of changes. But okay, so aside from the world supposed to be ending on the 21st of June 2020, we could still be in for the world ending in 2020. Let's talk about calendars for a moment. Shall we talk about some calendars? So I'm no expert, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But from some articles that I read, on the internet, and if it's on the internet, it must be true. But it's been like everywhere recently. So when we're going from one calendar to another, like a new calendar, and I could be wrong, but I'm guessing it was like from the Mayan calendar to like the Gregorian calendar, kind of like how we went from like the metric system to the rubric system, if I'm using that correctly. But yeah, so we went from one calendar to another calendar, and somehow we lost 11 days. Like it got lost in the sauce. Just it went missing. Then somehow that translates into we're missing 8 years. So the Mayan calendar wasn't really supposed to end in 2012. I guess it's supposed to end 8 years from then, which is 2020, which is where we are, and baby, we're here. And I'm kind of just waiting, I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm a Debbie Downer and like I want the world to burn and let's just all die and get it over with. No, but like, oh my God, like, what if the world is gonna end though? And maybe it's not some form of like a meteor or a form of, some like earthly catastrophe situation. What if it is alien invasion? Can we talk about that? Let's talk about that for a moment. Alien invasion. So, there's so much out there. We're talking about like the Anunnaki, the oldest civilization that was out there, like they created us, but then, they left, and then their planet can only it only circulates or like orbits around, so many times in our lifespan, or it's, like what I guess, word vomit. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, it doesn't orbit back around too often. It could be like millions of years, let's just say, or thousands of years. So maybe they're coming back, and maybe they're gonna be like, yo, y'all suck. You were so mean to each other. Like, what the fuck? We gave you everything. Look at the food on the floor and in the trees, and like it's growing from the fucking ground. Also, that plant over there, it's not a drug. It's not a Schedule 1 drug, narcotic. Like, no. Okay? I feel like the aliens would be like, you guys suck. This experiment is done. We got to just wipe you out again. Like, we've done this so many times. Oh, damn it. It's like, Bob, Earth number 557, they failed again. We gotta take them out. What if they're coming to do that? Again, I'm not trying to like put fear into anybody. These are just, sometimes I like to smoke weed, drink some wine in a bath with some bubbles and some, some oils. And then I just let my mind run wild. And that's where it goes to. But now, okay, aliens, that could be that they're like, fuck you. We'll start the experiment over again. Or it could be just, War of the Worlds, or like, yeah, like a War of the Worlds situation where they come down, they just want our earth or our resources. They wipe us out, and we have to do this like hand-to-hand combat type of situation. And let me tell you, I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to survive that shit. Who am I going to melee with? An alien? No, I'm going to hide in my closet, and I'm going to die of just like hiding. You know, I don't have weapons. I don't have I'm sorry, I've been watching way too many like alien invasion like movies lately, or like Battle Los Angeles. Yeah. I just know that like if I don't have like a SEAL team with me protecting me, I'm not fucking making it. Or like if I don't have Michelle fucking Rodriguez with me, you know that actress? I'm not gonna fucking survive. But on the other hand, if it's aliens coming like to wipe us out, and it is kind of like the day the earth stood still type of situation, where they're like, hey, you guys suck, but we can't lose this planet. You guys can't fuck this up for us. So, you know, to save the planet, we have to get rid of you. If you survive, the planet dies, and then you all die. But if you die, then the planet survives, and then like everything survives. And maybe that's kind of what we need. I mean, spoiler alert for the movie. If you haven't watched it, it's been like 10 years or something like that. So like get on it. It's a great film, by the way. Keanu Reeves, like, come on. He can do no wrong, right? Yeah, great movie. Kathy Bates. But in the movie, it got us humans to be like, no, we need to come together. And like, no, we can change the world. We can change our ways. I mean, in the movie, they probably said that so that way they would all survive, and then they just kind of probably went back to their old ways. But then who's not to say that the aliens are not going to like come back and be like, oh, you fucking lied to us. Boom, done. But I was having some conversations lately of like, maybe that's what we all need in order for us to unite as a people. And I'm not just talking about our nation. I'm talking about as like the fucking human race, as a planet together. Maybe that's what we need as an alien invasion. And maybe it doesn't have to be we're going to kill you all, fuck humans kind of situation. No, but maybe just even everyone truly coming out and truly exposing and disclosing, you know, life outside of our planet. Or maybe they've even been on our planet. Maybe it's been their planet. Maybe just the knowledge of it could bring us together. Or it'll just cause a bunch of fucking chaos and havoc because of the religious part of it. I could see that just breaking people. Like if you are very religious to where that goes against your beliefs that have been taught down for thousands of years, yeah, I could see that being like soul crushing. I could see you freaking out. But for me, as someone who's like, I don't know what's going on. I know that we are not the only ones out here. You know, that's very selfish and narcissistic of us to think that we are the only thing on this pale blue dot in this vast open void that is the universe. And who even knows if there's universes next to our universe? We can't be the only ones, dude. We cannot be the only ones. Like, that's fucking crazy. But if we are the only ones, let's just, hypothetical, if we are the only ones, then that means that we are in a simulation for sure. For sure. And bringing it back around to the Mayan calendar of like us all freaking out about, oh, the world's ending in 2012, which is actually 2020. But like, let's just go back to 2012 for a moment. Us thinking that it was ending then. Maybe it wasn't like, oh, end of the world, catastrophe, cataclysmic catastrophe, and like the world explodes or something. Or we heat ourselves to death because we can't fucking fix our climate. Maybe it's not something like that. Maybe it just means it's the end of the world. I don't mean to sound like fucking cliche. It's the end of the world as we know it, like as we know it. And I don't mean like, oh, it's going to be a new world, like the new world order, like Illuminati shit. No, but maybe it's going to be just like a new world. Like, we're already making some changes because we're not fucking taking bullshit anymore. You know, there has been so much change in the span of so little time so far. And hopefully that momentum just keeps going. So keep it going. Keep doing what, keep fighting the good fight. But, obviously we need a change. Like, the old way wasn't working. It wasn't fucking working. And if you think that it was working, it obviously was benefiting you. Maybe you went to your 9-to-5 job. Maybe you have your 401k. You're allowed, you have the financial stability and allowance to, pay your mortgage and go on vacations and live a very happy life. And that's awesome. But, like, again, everything is pretty much a lie. And if you think that the system is working, again, maybe because it was benefiting you, but it's not benefiting everybody. And that is so fucking obvious now. So fucking obvious. Like, take off your rose-colored glasses because there is a whole world that you are not seeing around you. Like, get out of your tunnel vision. And I don't mean to be like, I'm standing up on my pedestal or like my soapbox and like, all you people are bad and like, wake up and like, I'll be woke as fuck, Like, I don't mean to sound like that. I don't mean to sound like a fucking millennial that I am at like Coachella or something. I don't mean to sound like that. But there is like a great awakening happening right now. And we need to keep that up. We need to keep that up. And if aliens can come and kind of like put an end to the bullshit, like, just like come, like step in with us. Like, don't do the fight for us. Just like help the fight and, maybe like take down some really elite people that are very hard to get to. And I'm not saying like purge them, like, oh, take them out, like sniper them. No, just, like get some of those people out of power. I'm not sure how to do that. Maybe the only way is to purge them. But, I don't want violence on anybody. But those people put violence on others. And that is fucked up. And, a lot of people don't even realize that like most of the news and like the media is owned by like just a couple corporations. And like there's like 5 like very wealthy elite families that control the world, like the Rothschilds, shit like that. Again, I just have a lot of thoughts and I just want to share those thoughts. And maybe you're like, girl, fuck yeah, right on. Or maybe you're like, oh, she's so silly. But here I am. Take it or leave it. And if you ever feel like, hey, I want to share some thoughts, DM me, email me, find me on Instagram. It's just Coffee Breath Pod. So find me, hit me up, like, let's be friends. I have a lot of thoughts. I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts. Let's share those thoughts. But for right now, we're gonna share some tarot. I'm gonna try not to shuffle this like into the microphone because I'm sure that gets a little annoying. Let me move this. Hope that everyone's doing well. The sun is back out right now. It was raining a little bit. We've been having some crazy storms. And apparently there's like that sandstorm coming from the Sahara Desert. So that's a little, concerning. I saw that it was going to like come across, or like maybe it is right now. It's coming across like the Gulf of Mexico. It's scary. It said that it's going to come up like a little bit into the Midwest where I'm at. So there's going to be like, there'll be warnings out for severe weather for sensitive groups. I'm one of those. My lungs. I've been eating a lot of edibles lately because I don't know if I really want to smoke a lot anymore because obviously that's bad for your lungs. Yeah, I have asthma. I've had bronchitis a bunch of times, so that's not fun. But enough about me. Let's get into some tarot. So I'm going to shuffle this 3 more times. If you are unfamiliar with tarot, or if you're unfamiliar with this segment, I'm going to pick one card from my tarot. It's the Wild Unknown Tarot. And, it's not telling you like, oh, this is the way it is, but I like to use it as just like a little bit of guidance. I'm going to shuffle one more time, and I'm just going to say out loud, what do I need to see? Okay. Now I'm going to cut the deck into 3. And from any of those 3 piles, just put it back into one pile. I'm just going to pick from the top card. And I have the Hierophant, if I'm pronouncing that right. Again, bear with me. I'm going to refine myself, but this is where I am right now. This is where I am right now. So the Hierophant, Hierophant. So this is the mentor seeking knowledge. In its simplest form, the Hierophant represents a mentor or a teacher. This card signifies a hunger for knowledge, whether it is God, I suck at talking. This card signifies a hunger for knowledge, whether it is in the practical or the spiritual realm. You've come as far as you can on your own. Now it is time to deepen your practice. Don't hesitate. Join a class, go to a workshop. Don't be afraid of new experiences. A new ceremony or ritual may prove to be both comforting and rewarding. Open your heart and your teacher will soon appear. Sweet. Yeah, knowledge is never done. You don't end your education once you graduate from school. You have to keep seeking new knowledge, and that's the only way that you grow. Because honestly, who wants to be stuck in the same mindset that they were in when they were in high school? I cannot imagine still being that person. Oh my God, I would not be here if I was still that person. Fuck. Yeah. You always want to keep evolving yourself. You want to keep expanding your horizons, because the brain is a muscle and you want to keep working it. I definitely again, I don't want to be like, you need to do this, or I'm on my soapbox. But if everybody could take 5 minutes out of their day, every day, just fucking 5 minutes, just 5 minutes to sit down, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. That's it. You don't even have to call it meditation if the word meditation signifies something weird to you, or you feel like it goes against your religion, or whatever. No, just be with yourself for a moment. Focus on your breath. Focus on the present moment. And the more that we can do that, the more that we can calm our thoughts down. Because you don't want to end your thoughts. That's not the point. Thoughts are there. It's almost like your brain is an antenna, and it's just picking up, radio waves and some signals, and it's just beaming them into your brain. And you're like, oh shit, okay, there's that. But if you can find some space in between the thoughts, that's where a lot of your growth is going to come from too. Meditation, dude, that saved my life for sure. And it's still a practice. I'll be sitting there and I'm like, okay, inhale and exhale. And then I'll be like, what am I think I want tacos tonight. Oh my God, I haven't worn that shirt in forever. Oh, my back hurts a little bit. Oh shit, I'm thinking again. Okay, breathe in and breathe out. And then that just keeps going on and going on, until my alarm says, hey, meditation's over. And then I go, okay. And then I go on with my day. But it's catching ourselves every time that we're like, oh shit, I'm thinking again. Okay, come back to myself. It's like doing a bicep curl for your brain. Again, your brain is a muscle, so work it and use it and evolve yourself. And then we can change the world. But that is it for the second episode of the Coffee Breath podcast. Thank you for chilling with me today. Thank you for listening. If you ever want to share your own stories or anything like that, find me on Instagram, Coffee Breath Pod. I'm here. Let's be friends. All right, guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye. Peace.